you guys? ADJC1559 here, and I am bringing you a tutorial on how to get the fire bow on the Eisendrache. I haven't heard this bow be called anything else but the fire bow. But yeah, anyway you guys, if you're only here for a specific step, these are the times that you can skip ahead to in the video to take you there immediately. Everybody else, stick around. So the first thing you need to do, just like all the other bows, is acquire the broken arrow pieces, and you do that by going up here into the clock tower and shooting the little markings on the wall here at the top. It'll come out, and there it is right there. So you can just pick that up, and freaking zombies knocked me off the ledge there. But yeah, pick that up, and that'll begin your quest. So for the next step, you need to head to the rocket pad, and this step can be pretty annoying and pretty tedious, but bear with me. There's this rock over here on this ledge here, and this rock is very important for something. Now, while playing the Eisendrache, you might have noticed that the rocket does this test every once in a while, like you see here. And then you can stay in this room to be safe from the rocket's fire, because if you're in the other room, you die. So you don't want to be there. But this step needs to be done right after the rocket test fires, right? So what you need to do is go through these doors as soon as they open, and that rock that I showed you, you're going to need to shoot it right on the tip. If you do it correctly, you should see this flaming fireball shootout. Now this step is very tedious and takes quite a bit to do, quite a bit of practice. I would say shoot a little bit to the left. You're trying to shoot the little glowing part, not the actual rock itself. That's something you need to understand. If you did it correctly, you should head back to the death ray area, and you'll see this flaming ball sun thing here. And it looks pretty cool. Alright, so for this next step, it can be very, very tedious as well. So there are these rings that are located all over the map. 3 of them, one located right there just outside the bell tower. The other one located here in the death ray area. And the final one located down over here near double tap. Now, it's important to note that these rings light up a reddish glow whenever you take one of the Wonder Spheres. And that's interesting to know because you have to shoot these rings while in the air after using a Wonder Sphere. Now, I know that sounds impossibly hard, but with enough practice, you can get it. It's the right amount of timing, and if done correctly, it should look just like that. The ring will be bright red, just like orange, however you think that it looks. But just like that, it is hard. I'm not gonna lie, it is quite difficult, and I wouldn't I mean, like, if you're host, you're good, but if you're not, it'll be a little bit more difficult for you, since, you know, if you're playing with lag or something. But it's definitely really, really hard to hit this thing. You gotta hit it right on, a little bit to the side, a little bit out of the circle, and you messed up. Well, you gotta hit all 3 rings using the Wonder Spheres. And you don't have to use a different Wonder Sphere each time. I just do, because it's easier for me. You can use whichever Wonder Sphere you want, but of course some are better to get certain ones with than others. But this one I found to be the hardest is the ring that is located here near double tap. But eventually you guys will get it, and you know, just keep trying, keep earning money so you can purchase the Wonder Spheres. Many tries as possible. Don't get frustrated. I know it's really hard, but you'll get it eventually. You'll get it. So what are we shooting these rings for? Well, you gotta get kills in them now that you've shot them, now that they're glowing. Get enough kills. It should only be, it's a really small amount, it's not very much, but you have to stand inside of the circle and shoot zombies that are pretty close to it. Once it's done, it'll do this little orange glow thing like you're seeing right here, and it'll go up to the sun there. That's all you need to do to complete this step. I would recommend hoarding up the zombies first, and then trying to kill them all at once, instead of doing them one by one. Seems a little bit easier for me that way. But yeah, that's a step. Alright, now bear with me on this next step, because it's going to get a little bit weird. Anyway, you remember this clock tower? Go up in here and hold your action button on the gears there, and it'll give you a symbol. Now you need to memorize this symbol, so watch closely. This symbol's very important. So what do you need the symbol for? Well, located all around the map, there are these 3 fireplaces. I'm sure you've noticed them before, and they have those symbols that one of the symbols that you could get from that clock tower. They have in them, and there was one located there in the computer room. There's another one located here in in these ruins of Maxis's old home, or Richtofen's old home. And then the third one is located really nearby, right there. It's in the first dragon head area, and it's right here. Now you need to match these symbols. You need to find your fireplace that has the symbols that coordinate with the symbol that you got from the clock tower. And what you need to do is you need to you stand in one of the rings and then shoot, and you'll get this little thing. And then you need to stand next to that thing and shoot somewhere else. Now you have 4 shots to try and get inside your fireplace that was assigned to you. Only one of these rings will be lit up, and you'll only need to do this once. A word of caution though, if you fail, if you have to use more than 4 shots, you will have failed it, and you will have to try again the next round, which can suck, especially if the game won't give you any max ammos. But once you get far enough, if you do it correctly, you should see that red glow in the fireplace you saw there, and go and hold your action button on it, and you should see some arrows. Now these arrows won't do anything, I don't think. But anyway, head back to where the sun star is, and go up to it and hold your action button on it. It'll do a cool little animation there. After a while of being awesome, it'll drop this it'll drop the built arrow that you just go up to it and hold your action button on it. Now there's some confusion over what to do with that step, actually, with the holding the action button on the sun. Some people are saying you have to get zombie kills or something. Well, I actually went and held the action button on it at first, and it didn't do anything. It didn't do anything, and I thought I was doing something wrong. Well, I went back and held the action button on the fireplace. Don't know if that helped at all, but when I came back to the sun, it appears to have worked. So that's, if you guys are experiencing any problems, just try going back to the fireplace and holding the action button, and hopefully that'll work it out. Anyway, you picked up the arrow, so head back down to the Undercroft and hold the action button on the pedestal that coordinates with the fire arrow. It should be the one with lava rocks around it. Anyway, get kills in front of this thing. Just like all the other bows, it's pretty self-explanatory. Get enough kills, and eventually you will get the upgraded bow. See, watch here. I put it in there. There's a little bit of magic, and then you can go and hold the action button on it when you're ready to go, and grab your arrow and get to killing. This thing is amazing. I love this bow. I mean, in my opinion, not worth it. I mean, seriously, the work you have to put in to get this bow, I'd say is one of the hardest bows to acquire, definitely. But I mean, yes, it's a good bow. It's a fantastic bow, but all that work. Jeez. Anyway, thanks a ton for watching. Subscribe if you are new. Leave a like, of course, if it helped you out. And keep watching, because there's still a ton of tutorials coming. A lot of Eisendrache stuff going on. So yeah, definitely want to cover all that stuff. Anyway, later.